Good morning, guys. This day Squirrel here. So I haven't put out a video in a while, and I haven't really, said anything about why. I haven't really talked about it. About 3 months ago, back on November 18th, 2014, I was coming home to work on my Harley. It was supposed to be the only day of the week when it wasn't raining, so I made sure I rode. Wanted to make sure I got my wind therapy in. It's about 2 blocks away from my store on my way home. Coming up to a red light. It's a big wide road, so I was lane splitting up to the front. Went to downshift from second gear into first. When I blipped the throttle, it stuck open, and as soon as I let the clutch out, the bike just took off, and I couldn't recover it. I ended up hitting my shoulder into the back of a car, broke it in 2 places, dislocated it horribly, had to have surgery to put it all back together. They had to screw a bone back in place. They actually had to relocate a tendon. It was a big mess. And I hadn't ridden for 3 months, so I wasn't making any videos. I had some old footage. I could have put something up, but my heart wasn't in it because I wasn't riding. I was kind of sulking. Fast forward till about a week ago, I'd been out, the 3 weeks prior, I'd been out shopping for bikes for weeks. Just every week I'd go out and look at something different. I had a short list. I had an idea of what I wanted. I'll get into that a little later, but I finally ended up, well, not finally, pretty much every day that I went out looking, I always ended up at the same place. The same shop, looking at the same bike. I don't know, it was calling to me, I guess. I'd go look at BMW GS's, and then I'd go back to the shop. I'd go look at Harleys and Victories, and I'd go back to this shop. Well, happened to be a KTM dealer. Now, they had Ducatis, and they had Suzukis, and Hondas, and Kawasaki's also. And I looked at all those, too. I had a whole list of bikes that were on my list. And I kept coming back to this one. It's a KTM 1190 Adventure. The standard model, not the R or not the new 1290 Super Adventure, just a standard 1290 Adventure in KTM orange. Or 1190 Adventure, sorry, tongue-tied. And man, have I been happy. The bike's everything I could have wanted. So for the last week or so, I've probably ridden 5 out of 8 days, because that's what you do. The weather's been beautiful. Gotten to go out and ride with my club a couple times. Finished the 1,000-kilometer break-in in the first week. Now I get to start using the full rev range, which is kind of cool. But just the way that I feel, just how different it is, how I feel emotionally, not really physically. The bike doesn't change you physically, but my mind's much clearer. I have less stress weighing on me. I've still got all the same shit in my life. I still got my job. I still got my girlfriend. I still got all the things that could conceivably stress me out. The difference is now I have my stress reliever back, and it's just been phenomenal. I'm just elated to be back riding. My shoulder's holding up to it just fine. I was worried I wouldn't be back on the bike this soon, and some would say I shouldn't be yet, but my doc didn't have a problem with it, and I'm managing it fine. I do get some fatigue after a few hundred miles, but I get fatigued for a few hundred miles no matter what I was riding. So I guess the whole point of the exercise here is that, man, it's good to be back riding. If you got something in your life like that, something that you go and do and it just takes away all the stress and all the problems, man, never give it up. If you're watching this, there's a pretty good chance that that thing is motorcycling. so you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm gonna do later on. I'll do a full review on the bike. I'm also planning a vlog on my thought process in buying, in choosing this bike. I was very methodical in my selection process. Anyway, guys, it's good to be back. Look forward to more SJ Squirrel videos coming up. Talk to you soon. Squirrel out.